Welcome back to Lions News Fan Report, where we bring you the latest and most exciting sports news every single day. Tonight's story takes us inside the high-stakes drama of NFL Draft Night, when a single phone call could have completely altered Detroit's future on the defensive line. Could the Lions really have traded down in Round 1 and missed out on Ohio State's Tyleik Williams? Stay tuned, because the full story reveals not only front office chess moves but also whispered interest from rival teams that might have swooped in to land Williams if Detroit blinked. Picture this. It's late Thursday evening, April the 25th, 2025. The draft broadcast rolls on. Cameras pan the war rooms from sea to shining sea, and Detroit's brass sits patiently at pick number 28. Then the unexpected happens. Howie Roseman's voice crackles through a behind-the-scenes video released by the Philadelphia Eagles asking if Detroit would be open to trading back 4 spots. Why? Because Alabama linebacker Jahad Campbell was still on the board at number 22, and Philly didn't want to risk losing him. Did Detroit almost cash in their first-round capital for a shot at Campbell? GM Brad Holmes's terse reply, "We're gonna stay put," echoes through that video clip. On the surface, it seems like a simple, "thank you, but no thanks." Yet that decision carried enormous weight. Had Detroit agreed to move down, they'd have found themselves picking at number 32, out of alignment for Williams, who slid tantalizingly down the board to 28. Instead, Holmes held firm, drafting Tyleik Williams, the powerful Buckeye defensive tackle, and instantly strengthening a front that saw only modest pass rush numbers in 2024. Could that lone decision be the difference between putting Williams in Detroit's lineup and watching him anchor someone else's defense? Let's rewind further. In the days leading to the draft, sources confirm the Buffalo Bills, who owned pick number 30, were equally enamored with Williams' combination of size, 6'4", 300 pounds, explosiveness at the point of attack, and rare three-down versatility. Williams himself admitted post-draft that Buffalo coaches called him repeatedly. Isn't it chilling to imagine Tyleik suiting up in Bills blue? On the other hand, Detroit's scout team raved about his film. Early down run game domination at Ohio State, 2 seasons of double-digit tackles for loss, and a motor that never quits. That intel ultimately tipped Holmes's hand toward patience over profit. But let's not overlook Eagles' strategy. Roseman called at least a dozen teams. That night, desperate to secure Campbell, he turned to Detroit only after phone lines to Cleveland and Washington went cold. When Holmes declined, Roseman famously shrugged and pivoted back to Kansas City, securing Campbell with a one-spot swap. Meanwhile, Detroit turned back to Tyleik as the last man standing in his tier, nabbing the linchpin for what many predict will be one of the league's stingiest run defenses in 2025. Digging deeper, the decision reflects Detroit's draft philosophy under Holmes. Best player available, even if it means passing on immediate roster needs or tantalizing trade offers. In past years, Lions fans criticized prior regimes for trading valuable picks for future considerations. Holmes, by contrast, chose continuity and defensive identity, trusting his evaluations over the intrigue of moving up or down. Could this steadfastness become the hallmark that finally pushes Detroit from playoff hopeful to Super Bowl contender? Now, consider the ripple effects. By keeping pick 28, Detroit not only secured Williams, they also sent a clear message about organizational conviction. Then, just hours later, with pick 61 in round 2, they selected a complementary piece, cornerback Derek Hall from Florida, further cementing a long-term rebuild on defense-first principles. Are Holmes and head coach Dan Campbell laying the blueprints for a dominant NFC North turnaround? Off the field, the espionage-like nature of draft night negotiations provides endless fodder for speculation. Fans and analysts alike are dissecting every second of that Eagles video. Roseman's tone, the room's reaction, even the timing of Detroit's no. Could that brief footage become a case study in the draft room discipline, where one soundbite separates winners from losers? Even more tantalizing are the what-ifs. Imagine if Holmes had sniffed at a trade, position 32 with perhaps an extra fourth-rounder. The Titans, Lions' upcoming Week 6 opponent, could have pounced at 28, stealing Williams away and tipping competitive balance in Nashville's favor. Instead, Detroit walked away with arguably the most pro-ready interior defensive lineman of the class. Could that alone chart the difference between us and them in future divisional clashes? Throughout the NFC North, rival GMs watched with envy and concern. A top-tier defensive tackle in Detroit's arsenal, plus complementary secondary talent, spells trouble for Rodgers and Cousins alike. Is it possible we're witnessing the birth of a defensive juggernaut that finally seals the Lions' long-sought resurgence? Only time and game film will tell. Since joining the Lions, Tyleik Williams has already drawn comparisons to franchise legend Ndamukong Suh, thanks to his violent first-hand explosion at the line of scrimmage. College tape shows him routinely burying opposing guards at the snap. He finished his Ohio State career with a jaw-dropping 32 tackles for loss and 15 sacks over 3 seasons, and those skill sets transition beautifully into Dan Campbell's attack-heavy fronts. Many scouts believe Williams can replicate that disruption on Sundays, collapsing pockets and taking double teams, which frees up edge rushers like Aiden Hutchinson to hunt one-on-one matchups. Could Detroit's interior become the league's toughest nut to crack in 2025? Early reports from OTAs suggest Williams isn't just a flash in the pan. Teammates marvel at his relentless motor and how quickly he's picked up the playbook. Defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn has been pushing Williams into on-field leadership, pointing out alignment keys and gap assignments, cementing his role as a potential three-technique rock of the run defense. Is it possible that this rookie steps into a Pro Bowl-level role sooner rather than later? Some insiders already project he could challenge for All-Pro honors by season's end. On the flip side, skeptics warn that linebackers and safeties will need to elevate their coverage games if opponents simply chip and release away from Williams' bull rush. Last season, Detroit's LBs struggled to keep pace in center field passing concepts once linemen collapsed the pocket, leading to big gains. Could the Lions' front seven need one more chess piece, a savvy veteran or third-round rookie, to fully capitalize on Williams' interior dominance? If not, offenses might still find seams behind batted balls and scrambled QBs. Finally, consider the long-term picture. If Williams lives up to his draft day hype, Detroit could field its first true 1-2 defensive tackle punch since the Sue Fairley days, creating a trench warfare legacy that lasts for years. Younger players like Bruce Irvin Jr. and rookies from the middle rounds could learn from Williams' approach, cementing a culture of relentless toughness. Could this singular draft night decision, betting on Williams over a quick trade, be the catalyst that finally pushes Detroit from playoff hopeful to perpetual contender? Only time and tape will tell. But what do you think about all of this? Was it smart for Detroit to stand pat? Or should Holmes have exploited the Eagles' desperation for draft capital? I'm bullish on Williams' fit in Dan Campbell's scheme, but I'd love to hear your takes in the comments below. I can't wait to read your thoughts. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe to Lions News Fan Report, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another breaking Lions story. Good night, and roar on, Lions fans.